Hi, and welcome back to the show, and I'm with John the Broons, the family business advisor, or the family business guy as he likes to be known, or more commonly known. How are you, John?
Good, thanks.
John, we've been talking about choices in business, and it's really interesting. We've actually unpacked this thing to explore the individuals. And we left the last segment, so if you missed that, go back and listen to it. But we left the last segment, you're saying many times you will talk to individuals in a family business, or within that family that's in business, and ask them what they want to be doing in 5 or 10 years' time. And quite often, because they've been shaped, basically, if that's the right way of putting it, that this is your slot in life, they actually really don't know what they want for themselves. I guess when I'm listening to you, one of the things we've talked about, the connections that by the exploration and you're working with them, they get stronger connections with each other. The individuals get to understand the family dynamics. But one thing I'm discovering now by talking to you is you're actually also unpacking or discovering each individual's uniqueness.
Oh yeah.
Within there, which must be. I think sometimes when you're doing that, you must see lights going in people's eyes.
Yeah, I see the flashbulb moment. And it's interesting when I see that happen in one individual, somebody else in the family still hasn't seen what they haven't seen. They don't know what they don't know yet.
Yes. Yeah.
So when you work with families, not everybody is moving at the same speed, at the same pace in learning about themselves.
Yes.
So life experience and the way that individuals will learn, some visually, some by the written word, easier to read it. And the dynamic working with these families is a privilege.
Yeah.
You know, I've got to I'm constantly stepping back to make sure that I'm not buying into the family's stuff, you know, because if I do that, then I'm not actually working for the family, am I?
No.
I'm actually getting involved in passing opinions, and it's got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
This is all about the family. This is all about them. So I'm just facilitating and helping take them from a place where they're currently, and in some cases, people get hurt because of the conversations. In some cases, people don't like to be changed.
No,
okay?
No.
And it's a difficult thing to move from here to there. And yet you have to be able to move to handle the change.
And I think
it may not be where they end up, because even over time, the ideal place might be down here.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's a matter of understanding how to make sure that everybody keeps to be on the same page, that we don't have these broken telephone conversations, you know, the Chinese whispers.
Yes.
So that when you're dealing with a family of, 8, 10, 20, 30 people, and sometimes, families, cousin consortiums get to be 150 plus family members.
Yeah.
How do we keep them all communicating? How do we make sure that they're all networking and understanding that the business is there for a purpose and the family is there and it's got a different purpose?
So in part of this choices discussion that you have with families and this unpacking and discovering the individuals, part of those choices is coming down to, well, for what I would phrase, growth. Not just for the business. I mean, quite often we talk about business growth as in dollars and cents and how many sales and how many customers. But you said your focus is more intrinsic than that. It's more, okay, what about the individuals in the family? Their personal growth that obviously then contributes to the family's personal growth.
People get invested in family businesses. They take ownership. You may not be a shareholder, but a child will come in and say, that's my dad's business. Within 10 years, that's a family business.
Yes.
Okay?
Yep.
Has no shares, no ownership, works black and blue to make sure the business is doing well and making a profit. That's all great. But over time, there's an emotional ownership connection.
Yeah.
There's wanting to do good for the community. Businesses, families that own businesses that want to give back to the community. How do they set those things up? How do they educate the children to do those sorts of things? Do the younger ones want to give back to the community? In most cases, yes, they're the drivers these days.
Because it is one of the big things, and we're in Australia, and it's one of the huge passions. I mean, the generosity of Australian family-owned businesses is incredible. Yeah. But one of the biggest, I've failed to see any yet in Australia, this is contributing outside of their business to their community, to charities. Yeah. It's a massive driver for them. And
you get to choose, don't you?
You get to choose, yeah.
If you want, if you want, then if you want to, how much?
Yeah.
And where? And how do we make those choices? It's a great way to educate younger generation coming up.
Oh, yes.
Saying to them one day, okay, we want to make a donation to charity. We're going to put X amount of dollars aside, okay, and we want to see you guys put a proposal to the family that says, okay, we think we should have two not-for-profits, 2 charitable organisations. We think that there would be good value in supporting, and have an argument about it. Not an argument, but put an argument for the charity and the giving, and that may be one way of educating the younger generation to come in.
It's certainly going to open the doors for choices.
Yeah. So how do you make big choices like that?
Wow. Yeah. Well, that's an educational curve.
And that's not just the choice of where do I fit, but how do I look at the wider community where I sit?
Because, we talk a lot about branding, don't we? And what you want to be known for as a brand, but in a community, which a lot of family businesses are very, very proud of, it's what you want to be known for in your community. So the choices of what you're going to support is going to be a reflection on your own, I suppose, family values, that will give you a perception in that community of what type of family and what you stand for.
Quite probably. It's not necessarily something that comes up in conversation within families, because mum or dad or, so one of my sisters died of this particular disease, heart disease. I want to give money to the Heart Foundation.
Yeah.
Somebody else had an accident in a car and they broke an arm or whatever, so I want to give to the Road Accident Commission. Optical, there's so many different charities out there today.
Yeah.
So how do we pick and choose? For what reasons? And where does our money get spent? Do we know? So somebody needs to find out, don't they? So there's an opportunity to learn.
And then I suppose it becomes, depending on the size of the family and what you want to do, I suppose then choices, of course, are that the family itself will start up its own foundation. And that has become a bit of a trend in the last few years, especially in Australia, where we are, for family businesses or families in business to say, we want, just what you were saying, we want to be able to control the money where it actually goes, so we'll have our own foundation. And a lot of it's driven because of a personal crisis, like a cancer or something horrible like that's happened. So they've done this, or someone's become paralysed, they want research money to particularly go, and they go, but we want to control it. There's some...
So when we start talking about choice in families, individual choice, group and family choice, directional choice of family and business, and how far do we want to go? So how big is your dream, Michael?
And on that, we'll take a quick break, and then we're going to come back with a quick summary on John Broons' Families in Business Choices. We're going to ask him some of the what's his biggest learning lesson he's gone through on some of these questions, and what's his biggest takeaway that he'd share with you today. We'll be right back.